This is Mahesh Ravi, and in this video, we're going to take a look at how to design a drip email campaign using the free tool MailerLite. Drip campaigns are a really interesting way to get audience familiar with your brand. The advantage of drip campaign is that it goes straight in the email of the client or the user, and with a series of emails, you can build a proper relationship with a user. So here in this video, we are going to use a free tool called MailerLite, and I'm going to show you how to set up a campaign, how to design it, and how to use it for your startup brand. So let's get into mailerlite.com. Here we are in MailerLite. So when you're logging in or when you're signing up for MailerLite for the first time, it might ask you to verify yourself. So it might take up to a day to get a verified MailerLite account. So once you are verified, you will be able to sign in to your MailerLite application, and this is a dashboard that you're going to see when you're signing in for the first time. So you can see your profile details right here, and on top here, we are on the dashboard right now. Since we haven't set up a campaign, we cannot see too much of activity happening in here. But once you start setting up your campaign, you'll be able to see the insights of your campaign in this dashboard. So you can see a couple of tabs on top here. There is a campaign. This is where you design your email campaign. This is where you add your mailer list. So basically what you can do is you can actually download your mailer list from any email application. You can upload that as a CSV file by clicking on add subscribers, and you can upload those files, the contact file right in here, and when you have a campaign, it will actually go to all the addresses that you have in this particular subscriber list. So this is how you add people into your mailer list. So if you want to create a first pop-up that will go into your into other websites and stuff like that, you can create forms from this link. You can create landing pages on this tool itself in this section, and this is a very important tool, right? You can create automation workflows. So basically what you can do is you can create an emailer and you can create trigger events. For example, if a user actually clicks on or buys a product in your site, it can trigger an event and can send a confirmation mail. So we can do a lot of automation workflows in here, but let's do a video on this separately later. But we will just take a look at how to create your first campaign and send out your first email. So let's go back to the campaigns section, and in here you can see that this is pretty empty right now because we haven't created any campaign yet. So we can click on create campaign here, and we have to create a campaign name. So we can just call it test. And subject is very important because this is going to be the subject line of the email that goes out. So when a user actually sees in the inbox, the subject field is going to be really, really important. So you can write a very attractive subject email. So you can write something which is attractive here. There is something called insert personalization. So you can just select that. So basically when it hits the viewer's inbox, it will take their first name and display it along with the subject line. Adds a little more personalization, and it's a good way to actually send out an email. So we can just put a comma here. So our subject line is going to say, welcome to NW Library. If it is coming to me, it is going to say, welcome to NW Library and Mahesh. So it adds a little more personalization, and people are going to enjoy that. So it is coming from us. So this is a company name and my email ID right here, and the language is English. And now that we have set up the initial campaign information, we can go to the content design. So click on next, and it will take you to the content builder, which is a really, really useful and efficient design platform. So you can do a lot of fun stuff in here. It is not as versatile as a design tool like Photoshop or Illustrator, but there's a lot of things that you can do in here, a lot of customizations that you can do in here, and you can make your emailer look as attractive as possible. So we're going to go click on the drag and drop editor. There are other editor options as well. So if you are a designer and you want to actually import your HTML emailer that you have designed in a design tool, you can choose that and upload that HTML file right in here. But we are going to choose drag and drop editor. The inbuilt drag and drop editor of MailerLite is pretty efficient. So click on choose. So we are in the MailerLite content composer right now. And as you can see, there is already a template which is set up for you when you start. You can delete all of this and start fresh completely with an empty document. So this is a template. So if you look at the interface, you can see all the blocks that you can take is right here. So you can just drag and drop it to this and it will create a layout. And on the right side, you can see the settings tab. So right now we are in the template setting. So if you want to, have it like a list or a card setup or a full width layout, it comes in like that. So I guess the list actually works pretty well. It depends on your preference. So you can put it like that. The default typeface, you can change it to something else that if you want. There are not too many options right here because if the user who is getting the email doesn't have the typeface that you're choosing, it might render incorrectly. So it is actually better to play around with these typefaces because this is the Unicode typefaces that every browser is going to render. So it's going to work out pretty fine in any system. So you can choose that. And you have your background color options. If you want to change the background color from white to something else, you can do that. You can also choose a background image to add as a background in here. You have your content settings. So this is basically like a design system which is pre-fed into this mailer. So there are the heading options right here: subtitle, link, heading 2, text, and divider. So these are the styles which are already set up in this mailer theme. If you want to edit it, you can click it and you can change the heading 1 to your own style. So if you are not very sure about design, if you are not very comfortable with typography, pairing, colors, schemes, and things like that, I wouldn't recommend changing this because this actually works out pretty neatly. If you are new to design or if you're not a designer, this style actually works really well. It's better that you don't customize this because everything works out pretty nicely in this style. So you can go here and there are a couple of more settings for the buttons and the footer, which is going to come later. So all the settings can be found right here. Now what you can do here is you can customize this email. You can delete this and you can start afresh, as I was saying. Or you can modify each one of these tabs. So if you select one block right here, the settings for that block will appear here. So we have selected the header and you're able to see that the Airmail logo is right here. So if you want to change that, you can click on change. It's going to list all the images that you have uploaded earlier. So I have uploaded a couple of files into this and it's going to show those images right here. So if I want something like that, I can click and that is selected and it will be replaced with that particular logo. So I have my own logo which is set up right there. So if you go to settings, you can also adjust the padding, which is basically the spacing around it. So if I do that, there is going to be no padding there, but I think the padding sort of works. So I will maybe reduce the bottom padding and we have that right now. So the logo is aligned to the center right now. I can change it to left or I can change it to right. All these settings can be done here. It actually works pretty good in the center. So I'm going to click save here. That block is saved. We have this right now. But at the same time, let's say we want to change this header into a different style. So you can see the logo blocks are right here. You can also choose this drop down and say, if you want to see only the headers, it will be showing only the headers. So there is a couple of different options for this header. The first one that we have chosen by default, it is just the logo, no other things are coming there. But there is another one with logo and social links. So if I select that and if I add that in here, so I'm going to click this and I will delete our previous heading. So we have these options. We can click on change and we can select this image once again. It's coming right here. Now, why we chose this is that it will have social media links as well, but it's not showing up right here. That's because we haven't entered in the settings of this header, we haven't entered the URLs of this channel. So if you enter the Facebook channel, let's say, so I'm going to just copy my Facebook ID and then paste it right there. It's going to show up right here, just like that. You can take the Twitter, copy that, paste it right there. That social media link is going to come. You can also take Instagram. If you want more social media links to pop up, you can click on another social media link and you can choose it from the drop down, and all the social media links or options will be here in this list. You can choose that and you can add your own social media link. So now if I'm going to click on save, we have the logo and we have the social media link. So once that is done, we have this setting done. I just need to start with an image here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the content section, and in the content section I can see there is an image placeholder. So I'm going to drag the image placeholder right here. So now it basically, after our logo header, it's asking you to insert an image into this place. So we can click on this and we can go to browse and we can upload an image from our computer. Since I already have an image uploaded, I'm going to select this. And it's going to come right here. So we have our logo and we have our image file, which is loaded right here. There is an image editor also which comes in right here. So if you click on the edit option, there is an inbuilt image editor which lets you do a little bit of work. You can add text into your image, you can do some color corrections, you can do some filters, you can do a couple of fun stuff in here with your image. So once we have that, we have our image also. Now we can play around with this. So if you want to change the text in here, you cannot directly edit in this workspace. You have to come here and you have to change the options right here. So I'm going to just write in so we have that. And we are going to the caption text, and so we have a subtitle also that is edited. We have a blog, which is basically a collage where we could upload the images and all those things, but I'm going to delete that. I don't need that section right now. So it's going to give you a button which basically says that write a strong CTA here. CTA is call to action. What do you want users to do when they see this email in their inbox? So what we are going to do is we're going to select the button and we're going to say place an order. So we have our thing and we can link it to whatever page that we want. By default, it's linked to MailerLite. You can link it to your own website. So once we have that setting done, we have it right there. We can also do some sort of settings in here like the padding. So if you want to reduce the padding on top and on the bottom, we can do that. We can also edit the button settings. So if you don't want the button to be in this shape, you can actually update that with a shadow. If you want to go here and change the color of the button to something else, you can do that as well. So we're going to do that. Let's click and save. Now this is a section that I don't basically need. I'm going to delete that. All the section that I don't need in my emailer, I'm going to just delete that. We have some extra dividers which came in. So I deleted all the dividers and we basically have this. We can come here and we can edit all the details of the footer. Okay, we have all of that. And we have the opt-out option, which is an unsubscribe button right here. And we have the social media links also. If you don't want the social media to be shown here, you can just delete all of that. So I don't want social media to be showing up here because it's already there in the top. So we have done a very basic mailer is done for us. So now, since we have done it, we can click Done Editing. Our mail is complete. Now this is where you actually choose your subscribers. Since we haven't added any subscribers, it's not going to show anything. So if I select on it, it's going to just have my email. So if I click on this, if I go to next review and confirm, it's going to send an email to me. But at this stage, we can also do something which is interesting. We can actually send a test email. So if I click on send test email, it's going to come to my email. You can also give additional email address by adding a comma right here. So we are going to send it. And let's see if that has arrived in my inbox. It's right here. Click on that. Okay, it has landed in our inbox. So we can see the mailer is right there. It looks pretty neat. It sits pretty nicely. And we can click on place an order and it will take you to that link, because by default it was on MailerLite and it is showing you that. So it is working. Everything is working fine. Now, once it is all done, the test is also fine and all that, you can click on scheduling it. When do you want to send this campaign? So I'm going to put send now and click send. You can also schedule it for a later date, but we have done that. So now we have sent our first email. It's already done. So let's wait for this to arrive in. Yes, we have received that as well and it's working fine. So I hope you understood how to actually set up a basic mailer and how to send it to your clientele. And in the next video, we will be talking about how to automate these things and how to schedule a workflow and trigger events in MailerLite. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with another video.